Day 257. Proverbs 19-21. Better a poor man who walks with integrity than a fool whose lips are perverse. Even zeal is no good without knowledge, and he who hurries his footsteps misses the mark. A man's own folly subverts his way, yet his heart rages against the Lord. Wealth attracts many friends, but a poor man is deserted by his friend. A false witness will not go unpunished, and one who utters lies will not escape. Many seek the favor of the prince, and everyone is a friend of the gift giver. All the brothers of a poor man hate him, how much more do his friends avoid him? He may pursue them with pleading, but they are nowhere to be found. He who acquires wisdom loves himself, one who safeguards understanding will find success. A false witness will not go unpunished, and one who pours out lies will perish. Luxury is unseemly for a fool, how much worse for a slave to rule over princes. A man's insight gives him patience, and his virtue is to overlook an offense. A king's rage is like the roar of a lion, but his favor is like dew on the grass. A foolish son is his father's ruin, and a quarrelsome wife is like a constant dripping. Houses and wealth are inherited from fathers, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. Laziness brings on deep sleep, and an idle soul will suffer hunger. He who keeps a commandment preserves his soul, but he who is careless in his ways will die. Kindness to the poor is a loan to the Lord, and he will repay the lender. Discipline your son, for in that there is hope, do not be party to his death. A man of great anger must pay the penalty, if you rescue him, you will have to do so again. Listen to counsel and accept discipline, that you may be wise the rest of your days. Many plans are in a man's heart, but the purpose of the Lord will prevail. The desire of a man is loving devotion, better to be poor than a liar. The fear of the Lord leads to life, that one may rest content, without visitation from harm. The slacker buries his hand in the dish, he will not even bring it back to his mouth. Strike a mocker, and the simple will beware, rebuke the discerning man, and he will gain knowledge. He who assaults his father or evicts his mother is a son who brings shame and disgrace. If you cease to hear instruction, my son, you will stray from the words of knowledge. A corrupt witness mocks justice, and a wicked mouth swallows iniquity. Judgments are prepared for mockers, and beatings for the backs of fools. Wine is a mocker, strong drink is a brawler, and whoever is led astray by them is not wise. The terror of a king is like the roar of a lion, whoever provokes him forfeits his own life. It is honorable for a man to resolve a dispute, but any fool will quarrel. The slacker does not plow in season, at harvest time he looks, but nothing is there. The intentions of a man's heart are deep waters, but a man of understanding draws them out. Many a man proclaims his loving devotion, but who can find a trustworthy man? The righteous man walks with integrity, blessed are his children after him. A king who sits on a throne to judge sifts out all evil with his eyes. Who can say, I have kept my heart pure, I am cleansed from my sin? Differing weights and unequal measures, both are detestable to the Lord. Even a young man is known by his actions, whether his conduct is pure and upright. Ears that hear and eyes that see, the Lord has made them both. Do not love sleep, or you will grow poor, open your eyes, and you will have plenty of food. Worthless, worthless, says the buyer, but on the way out, he gloats. There is an abundance of gold and rubies, but lips of knowledge are a rare treasure. Take the garment of the one who posts security for a stranger, get collateral if it is for a foreigner. Food gained by fraud is sweet to a man, but later his mouth is full of gravel. Set plans by consultation, and wage war under sound guidance. He who reveals secrets is a constant gossip, avoid the one who babbles with his lips. Whoever curses his father or mother, his lamp will be extinguished in deepest darkness. An inheritance gained quickly will not be blessed in the end. Do not say, I will avenge this evil. Wait on the Lord, and he will save you. Unequal weights are detestable to the Lord, and dishonest scales are no good. A man's steps are from the Lord, so how can anyone understand his own way? It is a trap for a man to dedicate something rashly, only later to reconsider his vows. A wise king separates out the wicked and drives the threshing wheel over them. The spirit of a man is the lamp of the Lord, searching out his inmost being. Loving devotion and faithfulness preserve a king, by these he maintains his throne. The glory of young men is their strength, and gray hair is the splendor of the old. Lashes and wounds scour evil, and beatings cleanse the inmost parts. The king's heart is a waterway in the hand of the Lord, he directs it where he pleases. All a man's ways seem right to him, but the Lord weighs the heart. To do righteousness and justice is more desirable to the Lord than sacrifice. Haughty eyes and a proud heart, the guides of the wicked, are sin. The plans of the diligent bring plenty, as surely as haste leads to poverty. Making a fortune by a lying tongue is a vanishing mist, a deadly pursuit. The violence of the wicked will sweep them away because they refuse to do what is just. The way of a guilty man is crooked, but the conduct of the innocent is upright. Better to live on a corner of the roof than to share a house with a quarrelsome wife. The soul of the wicked man craves evil, his neighbor finds no favor in his eyes. When a mocker is punished, the simple gain wisdom, and when a wise man is instructed, he acquires knowledge. The righteous one considers the house of the wicked and brings the wicked to ruin. Whoever shuts his ears to the cry of the poor, he too shall cry out and receive no answer. A gift in secret soothes anger, and a covert bribe pacifies great wrath. Justice executed is a joy to the righteous, but a terror to the workers of iniquity. The man who strays from the path of understanding will rest in the assembly of the dead. He who loves pleasure will become poor, the one who loves wine and oil will never be rich. The wicked become a ransom for the righteous, and the faithless for the upright. Better to live in the desert than with a contentious and ill-tempered wife. Precious treasures and oil are in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man consumes them. He who pursues righteousness and loving devotion finds life, righteousness, and honor. A wise man scales the city of the mighty and pulls down the stronghold in which they trust. He who guards his mouth and tongue keeps his soul from distress. Mocker is the name of the proud and arrogant man, of him who acts with excessive pride. The craving of the slacker kills him because his hands refuse to work. All day long he covets more, but the righteous give without restraint. The sacrifice of the wicked is detestable, how much more so when brought with ill intent. A lying witness will perish, but the man who listens to truth will speak forever. A wicked man hardens his face, but the upright man makes his way sure. There is no wisdom, no understanding, no counsel that can prevail against the Lord. A horse is prepared for the day of battle, but victory is of the Lord. 2 Corinthians 7. Therefore, beloved, since we have these promises, let us cleanse ourselves from everything that defile body and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of God. Make room for us in your hearts. We have wronged no one, we have corrupted no one, we have exploited no one. I do not say this to condemn you. I have said before that you so occupy our hearts that we live and die together with you. Great is my confidence in you, great is my pride in you, I am filled with encouragement, in all our troubles my joy overflows. For when we arrived in Macedonia, our bodies had no rest, but we were pressed from every direction, conflicts on the outside, fears within. But God, who comforts the downcast, comforted us by the arrival of Titus, and not only by his arrival, but also by the comfort he had received from you. He told us about your longing, your mourning, and your zeal for me, so that I rejoiced all the more. Even if I caused you sorrow by my letter, I do not regret it. Although I did regret it, I now see that my letter caused you sorrow, but only for a short time. And now I rejoice, not because you were made sorrowful, but because your sorrow led you to repentance. For you felt the sorrow that God had intended, and so were not harmed in any way by us. Godly sorrow brings repentance that leads to salvation without regret, but worldly sorrow brings death. Consider what this godly sorrow has produced in you, what earnestness, what eagerness to clear yourselves, what indignation, what alarm, what longing, what zeal, what vindication. In every way you have proved yourselves to be innocent in this matter. So even though I wrote to you, it was not on account of the one who did wrong or the one who was harmed, but rather that your earnestness on our behalf would be made clear to you in the sight of God. On account of this, we are encouraged. In addition to our own encouragement, we were even more delighted by the joy of Titus. For his spirit has been refreshed by all of you. Indeed, I was not embarrassed by anything I had boasted to him about you. But just as everything we said to you was true, so our boasting to Titus has proved to be true as well. And his affection for you is even greater when he remembers that you were all obedient as you welcomed him with fear and trembling. I rejoice that I can have complete confidence in you.